What's going down, my YTG? It's your boy Hendrix. We're gonna get into this uh, post game presser. This is the game five post game presser with the Minnesota Lynx. Like I said, I know it's long overdue, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. I wanna actually watch this full interview. No clips because I've seen clips, but I want to watch the full thing. So there's a live reaction of it, really.
What made the defense so difficult over the last half of that game? Was it just what New York did, or what were you seeing there?
Here comes Cheryl. Do you want to ask her or me?
Abby, do you have box scores?
I mean, they turned up the pressure. It's the end of the game. Of course, we're both trying to win, so they turned up the pressure. We got a couple turnovers. We didn't execute our offensive plays at the end, so that's what their defense was doing.
Coach, maybe you could speak to that too, just about what you saw with the offense over the last half of that game as New York turned up the pressure.
I saw a very physical and aggressive New York team. We know this from being a part of the game for so long that sometimes you get away with stuff when you're physical and aggressive, and they certainly did. It's a shame that officiating had such a hand in a series like this. Obviously, there's always going to be a team that's going to be a little more disappointed than the other. I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game.
Yeah, because the three refs on the floor, they're not going to call that objectively. Like I said it live when it happened. I said Coach Reeve just wasted a challenge because the refs aren't going to overturn that anyway. They're not looking to be objective.
You did
So
such a great job of
she does have a good point there.
Brandon Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu from scoring for the most part tonight. What about Jonquil Jones made her so difficult to stop tonight?
When you watch the whole series, right?
Yeah.
So what makes her difficult is you're spending a lot of time guarding Sabrina and Stewie, and in some of those schemes it created mismatches. But we were going to live with some of that, right? We knew that JJ was going to score. These guys shot 30%. The difference was in the foul line. And obviously we needed to execute better on offense. I think one of these guys said that we had opportunities not to fuel them, but we knew they were coming. We just needed, our lead guard spot was obviously, it was rough for us tonight there. We get a little bit decent play out of there, we win the game, But with all that happened, we still almost put ourselves in position to do this. And, I hurt for our players, really, really hurt. Incredibly special group.
Next question, second row, center right.
Cheryl, Taylor Feed, congratulations on the season that you guys had. I'm just hoping you can take me through going into halftime, executing a lot of what you wanted to do, especially on the defensive end.
Y'all think Coach Reeves mashed up the locker room?
Needed to be, or are you feeling good about where you guys are at and what that?
Where you guys are, not where you are at. Sorry.
I think that was just kind of the end of quarter situation. I think we were up 12. It was 32-20, and then we allowed them to come back to get into within 7 or something like that going into the half. And that's where we have to, be better. And that's been throughout the series too, the end of quarters and things like that. And it's hard when you're playing a team at home, a team that knows each other well and things like that. But it's hard to just pick one thing. You know what I'm saying? When you still have a chance to win the game. So I think. Yeah, we could have executed better, but there were so many things that went on throughout the game that I think we still gave ourselves a chance to win. It's been the same. I mean, it's game 5. Everybody's making their adjustments mid-game, mid-possession.
We are.
We're flying around. Everybody knows each other so well at this point. Everybody's trying to make a play and stop them from making a play. They made some plays in the second half.
We talked a
So
lot
did
about
we.
handling the pressure.
Yeah, handling their pressure, executing our offense, not turning the ball over to let them get, energy and transition and things like that. But
Next
They
question,
really want to
front row.
say like we did everything regardless of how we played. We put ourselves in a position to win the game, and it was taken out of our hands by the officials. They're like they want to say that, but they have to like turn it on themselves.
Any particular reasons why? Maybe the players that are throwing at you, or just that's how high?
Yeah, probably because I was getting held a little bit. It was a little hard to make shots. No, I think, of course, like they said, everyone's trying to make adjustments second half. I got a lot of shots up in the first. I was making a lot, so they tightened up their defense, brought people in rotation, were doubling, things like that. So I think they just upped the pressure, so it got harder. So, yeah.
Next question, standing to the left.
Yep. Coach, your team showed the heart of a champion all season, no matter what the result was. So I want to ask you how you really enjoyed this team, really cherished this team. What was your message to them in this locker room throughout this defeat? And for you, Kayla, you playing with this team, with how they've loved your energy all season and enjoyed your leadership, your thoughts on playing with this team all season and how you feel that you showed the championship spirit regardless of the result?
I share with them exactly what you said. Incredibly proud that, since the day we got together in training camp all the way through to the end, we were the same team. We never got the disease of me. Not one single player on the team got the disease of me. Not
The
one.
disease of me.
Those that were maybe in the rotation, fell out of the rotation, some that never got to play. No one ever put themselves first. No one. That is incredibly difficult to find in this day and age. So I'm really, really proud. I'm incredibly proud of the number of people that were impacted by Lynx basketball and how excited they were to watch our team play. I told them it's who they are as people, how they did it. So those are things that we talked about, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone, any team. Do things the right way. Built a team within the rules. Those sort of things that maybe right now aren't happening in our league. And, did it the hard way.
Oh,
You know what? We gave hope to those teams.
what do you mean by that?
Aren't willing to circumvent the cap or, fly illegally or all the stuff that's happened over the last 5 years.
Damn.
Right? And so, I mean,
Damn.
it's the right way. It gives hope for those other teams.
Feet cracking the hell
Just
up.
like ours, you don't have to have a super team. Right? You don't have to have that. There's a different way to do it. So I'm incredibly proud of them.
Our next two questions will come from the second
Kayla
row.
want to laugh so badly.
K-Mac was going to answer his question. Sorry.
yeah, it's really rare,
Fire up on him, coach.
saying that this is my 11th season. I get to go out there and fight with women that I consider
Fee
sisters.
and Kayla want to crack up.
That's why it feels the way it does, because every single day we came to work and we enjoyed being with each other. We enjoyed competing with each other, fighting for each other, and that's why we're here. That's why we gave ourselves a chance to compete for a championship, because we showed up every day and did it the right way and did it for each other. And that's really rare in this league. The way that it's happening and all this other bullshit that people make seem like is important is not. What you have in your locker room and coming to work and showing up every single day and doing things the right way, that's the most important thing. And that's why it feels like this with each other, because we care so much about each other and we wanted it for each other. And that's the beauty of it, and that's also the heartbreak of it, because we deserve this shit.
That basically sums it all up. Like I said, they shouts out to them for being professional, especially Fee and excuse me, Kayla. They really like. There's only so much you can say in a situation like that. You know what I mean? There's like only so much you can say in a situation like that. Again, we have to keep. I said this in the New York video. We have to differentiate bad calls that are a part of the game and something that's external, which is a purposeful bad call. That is not part of the game. That's not part of the game. The refs were purposefully made a bad call. That's not part of the game. A bad call as in missing the travel on Stewie. That's a bad call. That's part of the game. But purposefully calling something when you know it's not, purposefully doing the wrong thing, that's not part of the game. So there's only so much the players like me as a player is like, I would be up on the press conference like, what do you want me to say? There's only so much, like, what do you want me to say? There's 5 seconds left before I'm a champion and we're up 2. Ref just missed the call, has a chance. Ref missed the call, we challenge, and the ref isn't objective. What do you, like, as a player, it's no longer in the player's hands, so everything you're asking them becomes invalid up to that point. Because it's out of your hands. It was literally taken out of the player's hands, both Liberty and Lynx. It was taken out of their hands. So how do you want the Lynx to answer? Now, Coach Reeve, I understand she going off, but again, this is what I said in the New York video. So, Coach Reeve, I got to get on that ass too. Coach Reeve, this is why I say in a series, firing off on refs and officials should be the last straw. It should be the last thing that comes up. Coach Sandy went off in game 4. You went off on the refs and the officiating in game 3. Both games were close. Both games were close. So my rule is, if it's a close game, I don't want to hear shit from you about the refs. I don't want to hear a damn thing about you about the refs. In a close game, I don't want to hear anything about you and the refs. In a close game, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This is why I say it. Because here we are in Coach 5, valid reason. You have more than a credible reason to be pissed off. Because yes, the game was taken out of the players' hands. It was not decided by the players. So here you are in game 5, ready to rail against everyone in the officiating. And what are the narratives? What are the narratives around this team? What are the narratives around this? Oh, y'all blew a 15-point. Not 15. Y'all blew a 12-point lead. Y'all didn't play well in overtime. Y'all didn't play well in the fourth quarter. Now, yes, those things are true. But there would be a hesitancy, or that narrative might not exist if you didn't complain the entire series until up to that point. Because if everyone recognized, oh, damn, the Minnesota Lynx, Coach Reeve, the coaching staff, they don't complain nothing. The players, they don't complain nothing about the officiating. So if they're complaining about the officiating, we know that's their last straw. And on top of that, knowing that it's their last straw and they never do this, with the credible claim that the outcome was taken out of the players' hands, you wouldn't see that narrative about, oh, you guys still had a game to play. You should have closed it out. Oh, you guys played horribly. Let New York back in. Should have finished them off. You wouldn't hear about that. You wouldn't hear that narrative if you didn't complain about the officiating in the final series. So, Coach Reeve, I put that on you. Stop. And I put that on a lot of coaches. I don't want to hear about officiating in close games. I really don't. I don't want to hear about officiating in finals. That should be on the game plan. That should be one of the things, one of the check boxes of givens. Low scoring games might be a close game. That's probably going to be a given against New York. Bad officiating. That's going to be a given against New York. That should be one of your givens. So your entire game plan should be to counteract that. So I don't want to hear about bad officiating. I don't want to hear about bad officiating if it should be the last straw. It should be the last thing you ever bring up. Everything else you say is credible. Everything else you say is a valid claim. You have a valid reason to be pissed off. The players have a valid reason to be pissed off. I don't have any argument against that. The shit was taken out of your hands. And it sucks. It more so, yes, it was taken out of Liberty's hands too, but it sucks more so for the Lynx because they were the ones in the lead. They were the ones 5 seconds away from a championship. So it's going to suck more for them, right? In terms of, Coach Reeve calling for a third party. Yes, I think that could help, but also to me, it's just like that only helps if the third party is actually neutral. Like if we know the third party is going to be neutral, we know there aren't going to be politics in the third party reviewing process too. Because let's say you send that clip to a third party and the third party still isn't neutral, they come back and saying, yeah, that's a foul, then nothing changes. So I don't know how we get the third party idea is valid. I think that should be a thing, but you'd have to make sure that's neutral as well. because the refs are supposed to be impartial too. But after that BS, we know they're not. And that's what pisses me off about this entire situation is the refs could have done the right thing. They could have done the right thing. And they deliberately chose not to. So that's why the Lynx have a reason to be pissed. That basically sums up everything I have to say about, I know Cheryl Reeve wanted to fire off. You already heard her talking about like building the super teams and flying illegally. flying illegally, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. I don't put that against New York. I really don't put that against New York. If people want to invest in women's basketball, like by all means, this the type that happens in the NBA and like higher leagues too. Like you go get the star players you want to, and I feel like even though it was like against the rules and stuff like that, I'm just like, bro, this is let big money fight big money. If y'all trying to hold back, a lot of the reason the WNBA is being held back is by the like restrictions the NBA put in the WNBA. So a lot of things are iffy. That's not like truly the WNBA trying to do that. That's just the NBA trying to hoe the WNBA. But all the other things Coach Reeve has a valid reason to be angry about. But in terms of her team, building her team up, no one expected the Lynx to be here in the finals. I don't think I did this season. I knew they were a good team, but I didn't know what it would look like with all the new pieces with Courtney Williams, Alana Smith. I knew they'd be good. Picking up Alana Smith with Nafisa Collier, but we didn't know they were going to be like finals good. And 5 seconds away from winning a chip finals good. So that's going to do it for this video. I think I've basically covered everything. That's a wrap on the 2024 WNBA season, man. I can't wait for next year. We got expansion draft and draft lottery and shit coming up in November and December. That should be exciting. I can't wait for next year. This is a wrap on the 2024 season. Man, I hate it had to end like this. I really do. But I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all. I'm probably going to turn my focus more so now to NBA, some football, depending on what the copyright situations are looking like. But I still will be covering like the WNBA and what's happening, especially with the expansion draft and the draft lottery coming in. Women's college basketball, we out here. I got some really big news about that as well, so stay tuned for that. I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend, Friday night, and feel all right. Take care, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.